Thank you, Mr. Colbert, for joining us today, making us laugh, and sharing insightful advice for us about how we should approach what we should do after graduation. Preparing my remarks for today was unexpectedly difficult. To start, there was the challenge of following Mr. Colbert and the corresponding impossibility that I would even seem remotely funny at this point. Thank you for the laugh. And then there was the fact that this is supposed to be a farewell address, slightly ironic and awkward given the fact that everyone's preparing to leave, and I'm technically going to be here for one more year. Shout out to Batten, though. But what I found most challenging was the expectation that I'm to reflect on our class's experience and somehow encapsulate how our class thinks or feels about graduation. And as I spent the last couple of weeks reflecting on this challenge, I came to the conclusion that I simply can't do that. It would be naive and presumptuous to suggest that I can speak to how our class feels about this weekend, about our overall experience. I barely know how I feel about walking down the lawn tomorrow morning, hopefully, let alone how the nearly 3,800 of you feel about reaching this milestone in our education. In reflecting on our time on grounds, we must acknowledge that there has not been a singular student experience, and there is subsequently no designated path we must follow after graduating. After the chaos that was moving weekend, and not long after we unpacked our belongings and plugged in our box fans, some of us quickly found our niche in this space. We had no or minimal problems transitioning into college life, knew exactly what we wanted to study, were immediately plugged into the university culture, and have loved and cherished every minute of our experience here. Some of us, on the other hand, though still enjoying our time here at U.Va, struggled with the transition into college life and found our time here at Mr. Jefferson's University to be a challenging experience. There are those of us who transferred to the university from another institution. The challenges of jumping in midstream while everyone else had this great first-year experience where they established their core group of friends, their major, their extracurricular activities, and where they were living. If we matriculated here as first years, these may be things we simply took for granted. Yet even in the face of what can be a lonely transition, those of us who transferred to this space successfully overcame those challenges, contributing to the growth of the university all the same. There are those of us who are out-of-staters or international students who traveled hundreds, maybe thousands of miles to attend UVA, where we were never really the most outspoken or opinionated individuals, let alone the social butterflies of a group. But we have nonetheless stepped into our own, confidently finding our voice, our motivating passions, and sense of purpose. Some of us were student athletes whose four-year experience contrasted the perceived life of an athlete. While there was the glamour of representing UVA on the field or on the court, there was also the challenge of waking up at 4:30 for 5:30 practice, taking a 3-hour exam after you were dead exhausted from just playing a game, or having to keep up with class lectures or class readings when you were about to spend 4 out of the next 5 days on the road. Some of us, even after surviving the awkwardness of first and second year, never really found our niche at the university. The mental and physical energy required to balance 30 to 40-hour work schedules with the full academic load didn't allow the luxury to live the life of the over-involved UVA student. Though some of us never felt comfortable in this space, we have forced our heart and nerve and sinew to serve their turn long after they were gone, as Rudyard Kipling vividly describes in his poem If, and are therefore just as excited about reaching this momentous occasion. And then there were those of us who came here, and despite our great success in high school, failed time and time again. More than once, we failed our exams or our papers. More than once, we failed to get into CIOs. And more than once, we failed to live up to the high expectations we set at the start. However, we must remember that it is in these moments of failure that we were presented with invaluable learning experiences. There are those of us who will be going on to study medicine at Duke, law at Columbia, African American studies at Brown. Others will be going on to do consulting at McKinsey or Deloitte, accounting at Ernst & Young, or banking on Wall Street. Some of us are taking the year off to travel around the country or around the world. Others will be joining Teach for America, the Peace Corps, or Virginia College Advisors. Some of us are preparing for that long and daunting move back into our parents' house, while others are still left pondering the question, what am I going to do next? The fact that we have all had different experiences and are preparing to pursue different paths in life begs the question, what are we as a class saying farewell to? We are saying farewell to the construction at South Lawn, New Cabell, Newcomb, Ruffner. The list just seems to grow day by day. We're saying goodbye to all-nighters in Clemens and the rabid fox that lived in Lambeth. We're saying goodbye to stink bugs that lived in old dorms and the new hotels they call dorms that we just never got a chance to live in. We're saying goodbye to that late night party on Rugby or at the bar that we just can't seem to remember. We are saying goodbye to Snowpocalypse Part 1 and 2, Mount Barracks, and the days of class that were canceled because of Hurricane Sandy. We're saying goodbye to those tumultuous days of June and the litany of listservs that we wish we had never signed up for. We're saying goodbye to the Friday discussion that we never wanted to take in the first place, and the 8 a.m. class that left us asking why each and every morning. But we are not saying farewell to the friends that we have made over the course of our time here. We are not saying farewell to the mentors we have found in the form of professors, advisors, and administrators. We are not saying farewell to the hours we spent stoking our intellectual curiosity or the lessons in leadership we learned through our practice of student self-governance. While we are saying farewell to the physical space that is the University of Virginia, we are not and will not say farewell to the relationships we started here, the lessons we learned here, or the memories we shared here, as these are the things that have enriched our experience in this space. It is with this perspective that we can make our walk down the lawn tomorrow morning, or JPJ, with a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction about our time at the university, excited about the dreams and unknown experiences that the future has in store for us. On behalf of the class of 2013 fourth-year trustees, thank you for joining us for today's valedictory exercises. I hope you all will join us for the class party tonight at Alumni Hall from 9 p.m. to midnight. To my peers, I wish you nothing but happiness and fulfillment in your future endeavors. Thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of final exercises weekend.